Sup guys, it's Alex here and welcome to another Bracketology update video. Before we go ahead and start, I just wanted to make you guys know, if you guys don't know already and you're new here, that on February 20th, if I do not have 1,000 subscribers, I'll no longer be eligible for monetization. If I do get the 1,000 subscribers by that day, then I'll be giving away some NCAA tournament first round tickets. I previously made a video on that. You can go check it out there. I'll be doing a drawing for it just because of YouTube's new partner program. And as of right now, I have 851. I had like 730 whenever this started, so we need about 150 more to go. We got 20 days to do it. Today is February 1st, so I need to average about 7.5 new subscribers a day. So make sure you tell your friends, make sure you subscribe. If we do get that goal, then I'll do a drawing and buy somebody an NCAA tournament first round ticket. So there you have it. That's just a quick update on what's going on. So let's go and get right into the bracketology. So this is Joe Lenardi's new bracketology as of February 1st, updated today. And there's been a couple of pretty big changes. Seton Hall is up to a 5th seed. Texas went up to a 9 seed, even though they took Texas Tech to overtime at Texas Tech, who now moved up to a 4 seed. West Virginia has fallen to a 5 seed after losing 5 out of their last 6 games. They just lost on the road at Iowa State, who had been at the bottom of the Big 12 Conference. TCU and Providence, I think they were an 8 and 9 seed last time. Now they're a 7 and 10. I think they were playing down there last time. Nevada's fallen to an 8 seed. Florida fell to a 6 seed. And then Ohio State has fallen to a 4 seed. And then a quick bubble watch. The last 4 in are SMU, NC State, Boise State, and Virginia Tech. Then the first 4 out are Missouri. They just went on the road and beat Florida, I think. Either went on the road to Florida and beat them or won at home. And then, no, I don't know if it was Florida or not. I might be mistaken. And then Georgia, they are the second team that's the first out. And then Western Kentucky, Washington, and then the next 4 out are Syracuse, who dropped about a seed line there, if you count the first 4 out as a seed line, UCLA, Utah, and Nebraska. So, as I always do with every single bracketology update that comes out, I go to Brackify.com and make a bracket so you guys can go ahead and vote. The link to this bracket will be in the description. I'll just go ahead and make a couple of quick predictions on who I think will win the NCAA tournament. I'll show you guys how you do it, and then you can go click the link in the description and vote for yourself. So there's been a couple of people that have already voted on this bracket. I made it about an hour ago. There's already been about 7 people that have voted. Villanova is going to beat the winner of Harvard and Savannah State, obviously. Then I think Michigan will beat Alabama with Colin Sexton. Wow, people are picking the team opposite of West Virginia. They're picking the winner of Boise State, Virginia Tech. I really want to go with Virginia Tech winning that matchup, but I think West Virginia will figure it out by the time the tournament comes around. Then North Carolina will beat South Dakota State. Miami, Florida will beat Marquette. Cincinnati will beat Northeastern. Then I think that Providence will beat TCU, and so do most people that have voted so far. Then I think that, once it loads, Auburn will beat Florida Gulf Coast. Then I think that Kansas will beat Winthrop. Then I think Arkansas will beat Nevada, though Arkansas has kind of fallen off the map a little bit recently. Then Wichita State will beat New Mexico State, though a couple people have picked an upset there. Ohio State will beat Vermont. And then I think that Florida will beat Houston. I haven't gone with too many upset picks so far. Clemson will beat Bucknell. And then St. Mary's will beat USC, I think. Then Xavier will beat UC Santa Barbara. Then Virginia will beat Wagner. I think Virginia is the best team in the NCAA right now. That might be a spoiler. Nobody has picked the higher seed Arizona State moving on here. Nobody has much confidence in them after being a number 1 seed earlier in the bracketology, I think back in November. Everybody went with Texas, and so am I. Then Seton Hall will beat Loyola Chicago, even though that's starting to look like an upset pick. Then I'm going to agree with people here. People are picking East Tennessee State to upset Tennessee. I got East Tennessee State moving on here. Then I think that NC State will beat SMU and then go on to beat Creighton. I got an upset going there. Then nobody has picked Belmont, but I think Belmont's going to upset Oklahoma here. Oklahoma just hasn't, if Trae Young has an off night, they're just nothing. I think that Belmont pulls off the huge upset here. I'm the only one to pick it so far. Then I think that Gonzaga will beat Texas A&M. And then Michigan State will beat Wright State. And then Purdue will beat the winner of Arkansas Pine Bluff and New Orleans. Butler will beat Florida State. Kentucky will beat the Louisiana Lafayette. I was about to say the winner of, but there is not a playing game there. Texas Tech will beat Buffalo. Then I think Louisville's going to beat Middle Tennessee, even though Middle Tennessee is projected to win just based off of the voting that's been going on. Arizona will beat Montana. Then we have, I think Kansas State will end up beating Rhode Island, pulling off the 10 seed upset there. Then Duke will beat Rider. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we have Villanova moving on past Michigan. Then we have North Carolina beating West Virginia. That's a battle of two teams there that are kind of doing bad as of right now, but that might change around. I think that Cincinnati will beat Miami, Florida, though most people don't think that. Then Auburn will beat Providence. And then Kansas will beat Arkansas. And then we have, I think that Ohio State will beat Wichita State, even though 5-0 have picked Wichita State moving on there. Then I think Clemson will beat Florida. I think St. Mary's will pull off the upset here against number 2 Xavier. Then we got Virginia. Oh, wow, look at this. 3 people have picked Texas to upset Virginia. I would not have expected that. I got Virginia moving on there. I think they're the best team in the NCAA right now. That's kind of surprising to see that. Then we got Seton Hall moving on past East Tennessee State. Then I'm going to have Belmont moving on here past NC State into the Sweet 16 as a 14 seed. And then Michigan State moving on past Gonzaga. And then Purdue beating Butler, a battle of the in-state rivals there. Kentucky moving on past Texas Tech. Then we got Arizona moving on past Louisville. And then Duke beating Kansas State. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, we have Villanova versus North Carolina. I got Villanova moving on. And then Auburn not beating Cincinnati, not Arkansas. And then Kansas beating Ohio State. And then we have number 3 Clemson beating, wow, people have St. Mary's moving on to the Elite Eight. That's actually pretty crazy right there, but I'm going to go with Clemson moving on past St. Mary's. Then we have Virginia beating Seton Hall. Then we have Belmont, Michigan State. We got Michigan State moving on past Belmont there. Then Purdue and Kentucky. I got Kentucky winning that one. I'm a huge Kentucky fan. They're not showing it right now. Purdue, I think, is the most complete team in the nation. But by the time the tournament rolls around, I'm going to go with Kentucky. I think that they're going to catch Purdue off guard with their athleticism and move on past that. Then Arizona and Duke. I got Duke moving on there. Then for a spot in the Final Four, Villanova versus Auburn. I think Villanova has the easiest pass to the Final Four. And they're going to move on there. Then Kansas and Clemson. I got Kansas moving on past Clemson. And then Virginia and Michigan State. I had Virginia moving on, even though it clicked ahead of time. I got Virginia beating Michigan State there. Though Michigan State has been the foil of Virginia for a couple of seasons in the NCAA tournament. Duke and Kentucky, as much as I hate Duke, and I love Kentucky, I got Duke moving on there. I think they're the more complete team. Then for a spot in the national championship game, we have Villanova and Kansas. I have Villanova moving on there. Then Virginia and Duke, just like what happened on Saturday when Villanova went on the road and beat Duke. I got Virginia moving on there, even though 2 people have picked Duke. Then in the national championship game, we have Villanova versus Virginia, and I got Virginia moving on. I think they're the best team in the NCAA right now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So there you have it. If you guys like the video, make sure you go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I need to get to those 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, let your friends know, and there'll be a drawing if I do reach that by February 20th. That'll help out a lot. Leave your thoughts and reactions based off this bracketology in the description or in the comment section below. Link to vote will be in the description, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.